Hello, 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 ladies. Maybe I'm shooting a bit too far. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. A Monday night, a UKEL Division 1 night, a Division 2 night, sorry. I need an update. Back at it again with Eversio, our last match before the best of three. Oh, sorry, my God, tonight I don't know what's going on. So tonight, this is the last match before we get into playoffs. That will take us, of course, to quarter, semi, blah blah blah. For sure, we qualified. We are currently 5-3 in the series. Tonight, our last match against Bandits 2.0. Joining me tonight, we have Mr. Nano Attack. Hello, Nano Attack.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm excited for the last game.
Great.
Hoping the boys in blue can do some style points.
I like it. Yes, of course, let's end it off on a win. 6-3 sounds a lot better than 5-4 coming into playoffs. They've been playing exceptionally well. I think the matches we've lost were fair to say against good opponents. So let's see what tonight's draft has in store. Starting off with bands, it is going to be Bandits. We are on red side tonight. So we will be seeing the first pick and first bands on Bandits, and Eversio will have that counter top lane matchup. It is the preferred side Eversio usually like to play, so let's see what they do with it. Nano, would you like to comment a bit on these current bands?
I
Sion,
mean,
Yasuo, very usual
uh,
stuff.
yeah, generally speaking, there's nothing crazy here. You know, there's Drakor on enemy team, so we have to ban the wind shitters. Just how it is.
Yep, and I see a lot of like long range choices here from Eversio getting banned out. The Victor, the Ezreal, perhaps a bit difficult to lane. I will also see there the Misfortune ban, a pick that Iconic has been sort of playing every now and then. It's a very strong pick overall, can win team fights uh, on itself. So yeah, I don't know. Some picks are still available. Ari for Drakor has been played a lot. The Varus, all right. I guess there it goes. And Abessa being banned by Eversio. They learned from their mistake. What do you think,
Varus pick,
Eversio? What?
the Varus pick has come out. Yeah, I think they are. They're not. They're a bit cautious about the Mbessa. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me, so they have learned. They have decided, you know what? Let's just ban on Bessa. Let's be safe. So I'm
And
curious what's gonna come out of
yeah. Oh no.
Jin.
Whoosh, ooh, that's a weird one. It's a very safe pick, so I would be expecting a bit more DPS coming out of maybe mid and jungle here. Jin being
Yep.
usually a more supporting character.
Said he can be a very strong support with the right team comp. So definitely one big chili pepper for the spiciness of the picks. I love a bit of spicy picks, so I am happy to see. As we do see Ari second, yeah, okay. So we're going pretty bland right now. I'm not gonna lie. We're adding some cream, lowering the spiciness a bit. Let's see what B2N can maybe pull
Well,
out.
Jin
Keep it
Jin
exciting.
Jin are is kind of in that pick range. They can get a pick off. So there's that.
Azir.
Azir
Azir.
is a good
What?
champion, but
Ah,
I think
good champion.
against something like Jin, something like the Ari, I think he might not have the easiest time getting those nice shuffles in. Still, maybe they're thinking about something else that can set up the Azir ult, perhaps. Let's see if they pick up something like a Rel or Alistair.
Show me the
Um,
Brom. Show me the Brom.
nah, come on, no way you go Brom here, right?
Why not? It blocks Jin W, it blocks Ari Charm, it lets Azir proc with his W as well.
And it's
Wukong?
Wukong. So they gravitate more towards what I was expecting here, something that helps them set up their two big ultimates, which are skill shots. So now I would expect something like, in the support range, doesn't really make a difference. Maybe something to help them peel, but we'll see. I just think it's a bit early for support. That was what, or if
That's
it
fair,
was
that's fair, that's fair.
support, you just want to unify what you have before
To be
starting
fair,
the counter.
I agree. That said, I think Eversio here should probably ban that Brom because that Brom that will act like a very nice glue, especially now with that Wukong.
Iglos
As we do,
back
of
on
course,
on
see
duty.
the
It's
GOAT back on the GOAT.
it's been working out for
Well,
them.
it is a very nice pick, to be fair, on
Yes.
the side of Eversio, so you cannot complain seeing it.
I'm
As I'm
surprised it's
curious
not
what the
picked
red
too
ban will
often.
be. I agree. I agree. I think the champion's really good. I think he's incredibly underrated in team play. And I mean, Aglos is good on him, so why not? As Karma is actually banned out. I can see it.
From a
Definitely see
caster's
why.
perspective, it's like we're like two Pokemon trainers, setting up their teams.
Exactly, exactly.
Um,
Only we don't get to choose the moves, and we don't get to choose the Pokemon. So we have to see what we're dealt with. Is Nocturne ban. Okay. Bit of a
no,
spicy ban.
Nocturne really can interfere with these team fights that kind of have to all in the same area. It disables a lot of the communication aspects. So I do understand the ban here. Last ban here, the Karma ban, I don't know if it's like a preference thing or maybe they're not used to it, but for sure shields can really disrupt the Jin pattern of trade. Missing health does deal a lot more damage and the shield reduces that damage significantly.
Mundo is
Um,
banned for the set of Eversio. I feel like Mundo would have been a fine pick. I feel like it's more of a pick that maybe Eversio could play into. That said, I mean,
yeah,
it
but
is always reasonable.
who's gonna take down a Dr. Mundo? I like the ban here. If they don't plan
That's
on
fair.
going
That's fair.
something like Gwen in the jungle, I really see a hard time here to
No, I
take
agree
down
with
a
it. I think
Mundo
it makes
champion.
sense. As Neferi is banned, I think that is the first like big blunder. I do not think Neferi works with Gianari and Ornn, to be blunt. I
Well,
don't, especially
it
into the
does
Azir
maybe
Wukong.
it does maybe start there, or the R doesn't give us slow anymore, right?
The second one does, not the first
All
one.
right, all right. Oh, they went for Lilia again. All right, so they liked
Okay.
how it worked. A bit of
Yeah.
a DPS champion. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. I think that's a net neutral pick. I think that's perfectly fine.
What
This
a bit maybe lacking on the physical damage side, I think. But it is against a Wukong, so I don't think it's the worst idea.
I'm curious what B2N will try to apply, as we do see a Jace being hovered. Will it get locked in? And it will. It's definitely not the worst. It does at least match the poke if Varus is going a poke build. It is a. I feel like you could have had stronger options, but maybe it's a case of preference. I mean, now I'd like to see something more like a Sona or a Zillion rather than a Braum. Now that we've locked in the Jace. Um, I mean, I guess you could also go
Could
like
be anything
Maokai.
in support. I really like Renata, maybe just
You
denying a
just
bit
not a
of.
mage. Do not pick a mage, right? As we do zero. Okay. That's we're not also not the arguably the best thing you could pick, but it's at least not a mage. I'm
So
unironically surprised or like confused what's gonna happen here
can we
on
pick
the side of
Renata?
Eversio.
Can we do that?
Honestly,
Does
uh,
it work or
it's
not?
not gonna be picked. Hear me out. I just
Renata
support you would go
Jins.
crazy.
Yes, yes. Sure, buddy.
But no. I mean, you could see a Renata, you could see a Jenna, you could see a Nami, you could see a Poppy.
I
Poppy's
could
of
see a
course
Poppy.
again.
All right.
Yeah, Poppy makes sense.
All eyes on
You do
Awaken for this Poppy pick.
that is 4 dashes on the side of B2N, so of course a Poppy does slot in quite nicely. It also gives you a bit of AD damage. Poppy for a tank has a very heavy hitting AD ability in her Q, so it does maybe try to even out that damage.
So just looking at it at its face value here. Um, if everyone's equal, who do you potentially see winning the fights and why and how?
So I mean, generally speaking, if you look at the way that the two teams are sort of playing out, this is somewhat a repeat of the last game. Once again, once Eversio reaches about that, this time I'd argue like even around 2.5 items, around that 27-minute mark, once you're completing your third item, Eversio just gonna start winning the game very hard. Uh, I will say that B2N have drafted a comp where you don't just spike at one item, and if you don't win, you lose. There is still a chance to start gaining some momentum at the 2 item point. That said, you will of course get outscaled because you have Ornn, you have Lilia against you, you have a Poppy who can just deny a lot of engage. You have Jin and Ari who are very safe. Realistically, I'm not gonna say it's like that hard of a win for the side of Versio, but I do think again it is a very nice
I
draft for Versio.
I have a bit of I don't know. I have a bit of a different feeling about this game. I just think the longer the game goes, it's just gonna get harder and harder for Eversio to actually finish people off. Other than Lilia, who, if she's the main person getting it jumped, will have to buy a Zhonya, so that also limits her damage. I really don't see a lot of damage from her, so I think they kind of need to snowball and hope for the best. that's how I see it. I think like Wukong can end up becoming tanky enough that after they blow the Lily out, they blow like the orange stuff. If he's still alive, like Wukong just tends to scale a lot, heal a lot. Same with Azir, like can be very scary later on. He can definitely, for example, outrange the Lilia prior to fights and get her to half health, maybe even more, before a big fight, and that's a lot of DPS lost as well. Um,
I think you are underestimating just how much damage a late game Jhin does, but I do see your point. Of course, they do not have a lot of damage mid game, and that's why I'm saying like once 3, 4 items rolls around, that's when realistically they should come online and start dealing damage. You get your Ornn upgrade, so you get a bunch of gold there. Uh, Honestly, the only really scary thing that I would say a person needs to look out for is either that Varus getting fed if he is building that poke build with that lethality, because that can like shut down a lot of what make Eversio's comp good. Or if Azir manages to stay relatively even, in which case they're gonna have a very difficult 2 items, so there may be a Baron swing there. Other than that, though, I mean, realistically, I think Jace Ornn is a pretty free lane, I'd argue, for Ornn. Uh, Rel into Poppy, I mean, is just cut and dry, just a horrible lane for Rel. So I will imagine that I will be seeing the Rel moving around, trying to help her jungler. Wukong into Lilia, I mean, like you said, right? So if Lilia's the one being engaged on, you do need the Zhonya's, you do need someone to help peel her. That said, she has a Poppy, she has an Ahri with her E.
I don't know, up to like level 10 or like up to first item, even 2 items. Lilia is a very clear advantage in this matchup. She clears
Yeah,
faster, she outranges, she can out gank to some extent. She has a lot going on for her that Wukong needs a lot of time and a lot of help to
I
match.
agree. I think the bigger issue then is because her side lanes will definitely not be ahead. So I mean, you obviously can play around with the Ahri. I think the Ahri pick makes a lot of sense here. Now that they've drafted like this, because since you have Ornn who needs time to scale, you have Jhin who needs time to scale,
Yeah, I
and
think if
again, who have
Eversio really want to win this quick, I would just like all guns blazes on this Wukong, on this Azir, and like just abuse their very earlier levels.
yeah, definitely. If you want to look for an early advantage as a Versio, you do want to focus this mid, you do want to focus this jungle. Top and bot are very much hope that they're stalemates and just try to stonewall them as much as possible and just reach those late game items.
I want to shout
Yeah,
out to Devil MT in the chat. Thank you for the good luck from EG. I'm not sure who EG are, but sorry if I
evil,
should. Is it
evil
Evil
geniuses?
Geniuses?
Question
I'm not
mark.
sure. No, no. But thank you for the shout out. Hello, Mick, as well, in the chat. A bit of a slow night
Euphoria
tonight, huh?
Gaming, of
Euphoria
course.
Gaming. Okay, okay. So this is something else. Um,
You gave me a flash to the past there with EG. I'm not gonna lie. What's his name? Crepo, man.
Evil Geniuses. Oh,
Yeah,
the
evil
the
geniuses.
the EU Mad Life.
EU
So
Med Life.
yep. So we are getting into the game here. Um, let's see how it goes.
Now let's talk about what's really important here. Skin review, real quick. The bot lane, enemy bot lane, are matching with the High Noon Varus and Rel. You have to give them points for that. You do have the Dilf Jace skin, right? Recently adding a lot of these attractive older men skins with the Swain one and now the Jace one. Of course, you do have the classic Thunderlord Ornn. I do feel like this is still one of his best skins, even though it's his first. There's just something cool about making Ornn look like a Zeus. You got the anime protagonist Wukong versus the D&D Lilia skin. Then you have the prep girl Ari versus the Warring Kingdoms Azir. I don't even know what to say for Warring Kingdoms Azir. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like in terms of skins, Eversio have been outdrafted. I don't know how you feel.
I don't even know what to say to that, my friend. So
As we do get in the game.
let's get it on like Donkey Kong. That's not what I would say. Um, yeah. So earlier levels, you're expecting a bot lane to be a very favored. Mid lane, I expect it to be a bit of a skill difference, maybe a skill check by both sides. It could be Ari favored, it could be Azir favored, depending on, it should be Ari favored overall, though.
It should definitely be Ahri favored.
Yeah,
I'm actually more concerned about how bot lane's gonna go. If the Rel finds a nice engage onto the Poppy and the Jhin before Poppy can get her W up, or can get her W at level 3, it might actually swing towards B2N. That said, I think if there's a lane to watch right now, again, like I said, it's gonna be that bot lane, maybe the top lane. I mean, there's of course a bit of optimization here with Igloss choosing to go the area on orange for just that tiny bit more damage, probably putting a bit more points in Q, just or maybe even just putting the 1 point and just letting Airy carry him. But there is definitely a few optimizations that the Ornn can do here where he can look for a solo kill. Hopefully, we just see him farming in the top lane and keeping good CS. But there are possibilities where, hey, if Ornn gets a kill here, the Jace becomes completely useless. So I am curious to see what's gonna happen. As Iconic
all right.
showing off his skin.
So a lot of things to look out for: bot, top lane, and the mid lane. See Wukong here starting on his blue buff, Living opting to go to his Raptors, getting a bit clear. I'm gonna be lowering a bit the sound effects here, guys. Sorry about the interruption, but they're just a bit too loud. All right, back to the game. As we expect here, first we are winning the bot lane matchup here, getting the initial push in. Similarly here in the top lane, Iglos doing similar things to what he did in our previous match. He allows the wave sort of crash into him, and he will try to freeze it as close to the tower as possible. He doesn't want to take the long exchange. Jace has range over him. He will be able to poke him down. So with
He
Iglos
may have let
controlling the
this wave
wave,
crash.
yeah,
He may have stacked a bit too large of a wave. The wave will eventually crash on the tower. Shmeon kind of not letting him really hold and tin the wave when he could, as he's going crazy hard. And this is what I mean with this airy scorch setup. I mean, you really can look for these cheeky little solo kills early game as Ornn when you go with this airy scorch setup. It does a surprising amount of damage. Keep in mind the Q does 100% of your AD. Meanwhile, mid lane, we're getting a bit dangerous, to be honest. There is one thing I am curious about. What's your thoughts on the jungle pathing bot lane here?
yeah. I mean, it's been a common strategy. I don't think Wukong can do much, neither can Lilia. Sort of living is just how you say. I don't know what the right word is. He's like being held by his camps. You know, he has to go the Raptors golems, sort of get ahead in that level lead since they do spawn faster. So he's probably like just tied to that kind of understanding as to why he's pathing bot. I think Wukong is just taking standard path. Seems to understand Lilia is here, so he does take a recall as well. And he'll potentially get the top side Scuttle Crab and the first recall here. We see Luca, sorry, bit of a
Oh,
Eyegloss in the top lane, getting his recall off. So does the Jace there, both teleporting back to the action. We do know that the Wukong will be first on map here with two swords. That this should be common knowledge here, as Living will delay his back to get his next camps. It does seem like Eversio gang up on this Scatter Crab. Oh my gosh, they do find the jungler here. I'm not sure why. Okay. We don't try to go all in on him just to get the Scuttle and leave. To be fair, Living does need to cycle his camps. So that's a quick little win, and everyone goes back to laning. I like the thought behind that.
yeah, I mean, getting that Scuttle Crab, chunking him to half health, I mean, it's already like a pretty large win if you think about it. There's no point in trying to chase, maybe greed for a kill, end up dying yourself.
It's just a
Uh,
waste of time, to be honest. Even if you do get the kill, they're just gonna respawn, go back to doing stuff while you still need to stay on the map, still take your camps, still get the recall off. It's a lot of things left to be done. And they might take too much damage to go back to lane. That's also a bit of trouble. You don't want to waste these early teleports as well.
true. As we do see, of course, Ornn being a little bit silly. He's he's playing a very aggressive Ornn game, I'll tell you that much. Dropping 10 CS, which is not ideal. However, if one of those kills does come true, that is very big for the side of Eyegloss, especially if it can deny a wave or two. I don't know what's going on with me today. Uh, Very nice little cancel from the Jace, actually pushing him out of his E.
I mean, you should expect Argos here to be dropping some CS. It's the level that's really going to be a big difference. Jace should have the earlier advantage here by a long shot. So Argos just simply getting his XPs right. And to be honest, it's not really that much lost. Just a couple of CS.
B2N's
Um,
bot lane here is playing this quite correctly, holding the wave towards them, allowing even if just for like the slimmest chance of Versio to overstep, letting that Wukong maybe just creep his way in, find a very niche little small gank. But doesn't look like it's actually going to happen. Rel will just continue to hold the wave. Versio will try to look for the dragon here, it seems like.
Eversio have been relatively always very quick to start these dragons. In the majority of games, you've seen them with their new jungler living here. And I would say it has like a 85% success rate overall. And the times it has not worked out, it was not too catastrophic. But so overall, Eversio playing the dragon game really well this what do you call it? This series. All right, there we go. Awaken finds the engage. This is gonna be the Wukong clone though. A great time Wukong clone there to escape the engage by Eversio. Nothing much happening here in the mid lane. It does seem like Matix here on Azir is ahead currently in the CS. It's just slightly though, so not really much of a difference here between mid laners. But Azir does tend to scale a bit more. But these mid game fights should be very Ahri favored.
These small skirmishes that hopefully the Ahri can find with the Lilia should be incredibly favored towards Eversio, as we do see Awaken also moving up towards these grubs. There is a swap from the bot laners. DDD does a bad flash, and this is going to be a kill for living. The BM is unreal.
I really like this by Eversio. They have learned from their past mistakes. They got how you say swapped on, and they reacted accordingly, instantly engaging on the lonely ADC there and using what they need to take him down. So this relieves a lot of the pressure B2B had here in the top side of the map. Awaken is also here to counter this engage. He gets like a third of the health here onto the Rel and then runs away as poppies all do. There we see. So do Eversio play these grubs? It is going to be ideal for them to get them. Their second objective of the game.
You might
One
not have
more
seen it,
for the
but the
fleet.
biggest part about that Poppy play is actually getting the Azir to try to chase him, get a bit bait into their chase, which does let Drakor get a very nice reset, so he can come back with full health, full mana. His ult is of course back up. I mean, well, he's back up. I don't think he's used it yet, and he's ready for this grub fight.
We don't have Ornn
That's
ult. We don't have Lily ult as well. Just something to note here. Wukong though is still a bit weak. He is level 6 though, but that's really all he has got going for him.
It'll be two grubs. It's gonna be two grubs. Okay.
Meanwhile, also we didn't really
Aglos.
lose anything in bot lane. Oh no, this
Oh
Varus
no,
is
no.
that's
Okay,
reported.
nice little flash. The Q does not hit. Varus will escape with 10 HP. Aglos, no!
That's worth.
Oh.
I'd take it, man. I'll
Rel
take
got
it,
it.
man.
Rel got it. It's worth. It's worth.
Scooby Dooby Doo almost saved DDD, but DDD. Hey, hey.
These
If
names
that,
exist just so they can
uh,
mess with casters, man.
uh, I don't know. I don't know about your gameplay, my friend. But yeah, better luck next time.
Better luck next time. As honestly, I mean, this swap from the side of B2N has been disastrous. That's 2 kills onto the Varus. And if you do look at the build, he's going in on hit Varus build, so not something that's more often seen. That said, it does make sense, seeing that the fact that they do need someone to kill the or no, what am I saying? They have an Azir. So I mean, honestly, it's a bit strange. Realistically, I'd imagine maybe something more like a poke build would make sense here, but they do seem to be opting for the tank shredder. Maybe thinking that the Azir is just not enough on his own to kill the Ornn and the Poppy, as I mean, the Ornn is just crazy. He is dealing so much damage. It's just not enough.
That's
It
not
is barely not
fair.
enough.
Aglos had that. He was cheated out of a kill. But there we go. Two components, and Ornn is basically a mage, tank, assassin,
Bruiser.
bruiser. Yeah, all of the above. You know.
Bruiser Enchanter, of
Uh,
course.
so
Fear the Thunderlord, man.
when does this Jin pick begin to make sense with the boost of swiftness? Please tell me, Nano.
No, I mean, I'm honestly, I think he's just recognized, hey, if I don't die, we kind of just win the game. So let me just go
Oh,
boots of swiftness.
I was almost getting out of that, sidestepping beautifully. Living trying here to get the salvage play, but sadly the teleport from Azir comes through and stops the play, but it does allow free farm here for Drakur in the mid lane on his Ahri. Overall, not the worst thing that could happen. The kill was taken by the Jace. He does finish that. He almost goes play. Still, though, overall 2 plates here going on to Drakur. So we're pretty happy about that. Hello. Same, by the way, in the chat. Hope you're having a great start of your week. Happy Monday, my friend. Here to support Eversio. Let's see it.
Iglos, if you solo kill an Azir Zorn, I will take everything back that I've ever said, man. You are the GOAT.
All right.
What's really crazy is he's been doing these plays. He's 0-2-2, and not actually that behind in CS. He's only 20 CS behind the Jace, which is kind of crazy. It is genuinely impressive the way he still managed to stay in this game. Level wise, of course, he is still matching the highest level of everyone else in the game. While still, I mean, he's going crazy, man. He is a I don't know what you call him, man. Wild goat. Mr. Core will wait out the sleep. This Jace is probably gonna go down, and that will be the feat of war for the side of Eversio. Feat of war, of course, upgrades your shoes.
Nice little flash there by Iconic. The barrier, the flash does secure the kill. It seems like Ignite was actually the last tick there that did finish him off, but
And that's another kill for the Rel.
Iconic trying his best there to stay alive. But we do see that Eversio got the third kill just before Bandits did. That's what's important here. And Living could find the return kill here as he is here. The great
Very
ultimate
nice
there by
ultimate.
Iconic, landing in 2 people. Awaken does finish off DDD. Living is here, and can Living drop the rel? The shield does sadly go through. Wukong is forced to ult. Awaken is not even anywhere close to falling here, but Yazir is following here. Awaken dashes onto a mini. Can we please go back to bot lane? Yeah, the Wukong got dropped low. Drakur gets the return kill. It's now Azir, Living, and Awaken all against one another, but it does seem like disengage is found in the meanwhile. It's Iglos there in the top lane that is fighting the Jace. A lot of A's in Team Eversio. I've never noticed this before. Alright, Awaken. Trying to find the stun. Sadly, the ultimate from Azir does shove him back, so a little back and forth there. Overall, Eversio favored, but of course, sadly, we did lose our comrade Awaken here. And he does pick up one of the kills.
I'll say it again. It is not an Eversio game without some clowning in the mid game. It was generally unlucky. Lots of people on both sides leave with very low HP. Drakur the Goat with the Blackfire Ahri. And man, I mean, I'll say this. They are arguably very ahead here. I mean, the people who need to have kills, which is this Lilia, do have kills. I am a bit curious how B2N will try to slowly inch their way back into the game. They should have a crazily strong mid-game here once they finish their 1.5 items. Azir, of course, already finishing that Nashor's Tooth. He is very dangerous. I'm curious what he's going to opt for. Whether going for the Shadow Flame, I do see an Amptome, or if he's going to maybe just go straight Rabadon second. So it does look like he will take the first tower. At the very least, there's something small. I mean, it will be up to this Azir, if anything, to carry this game on the side of B2N.
Nah, they need to fight now. Like this is the timer they need to fight. Like Bandits here, they are all equal at 1 item. The champs are pretty good at 1 item as well. They need to find a pick ideally on Living before the fight starts, and that's the best way to get off this fight. Something quick before Iglos can even teleport in. And this Jace continues pushing. Like they really need a counterplay like this. It does seem like they're playing a bit passively at the moment, so we might not even get that to happen. Oh no, Awaken could be caught in an awkward position here.
He is a bit caught out. The ult only does hit the Varus, but he will just walk away.
Yeah, there's no damage without that Varus. The coordination is not
Now
there. Oh
look
no,
at
the
the
Azir
Azir
TP.
TP. Look at the Azir TP. He will come in. Flash alt. Does only hit Awaken, but it will be enough to kill both. And man, I mean, there's the kill.
They
There
do
is the
turn up
play.
the gas. They do seem to have heard me out there. The Azir teleport really carrying that fight version, not really thinking about it. Does in the end finish them off. So now Eversio are back into that holding game. Sadly, this Herald is going to be taken or not. Not if Aiglos has anything to say about it. They do find the Wukong here. The ult goes down. And there it is. That is Wukong falling just before the fight. Living, finding a great ult there. A lot of damage coming out on the DD. Falling dangerously low. The damage is enough from both burns here from Drakur and from Living. Scooby
Bailing on a
Dooby Doo
second run.
falling very low. The mid lane tire should surely fall here. And that could be the next Dragon Soul Point for Eversio. Now it seems like they won't be securing this mid lane turret as Jace is here, but that should be a nice and easy dragon. See, Awaken here. Just engaging the Azir a bit, but it shouldn't lead to anything special. Interesting to see that Bandits are sort of half committing to try and fight this dragon, although Eversio do have Smite. And they don't really have the best abilities to contest this. Drakur is here. Charm barely misses. And there is Soul
And it
Point
will
for
be Soul
Eversio.
Point. Man, I mean, Eversio are playing this tight knit. Look, I'm joking with the clowning, but this is a genuinely tight knit game. Of course, as I said, Awaken will get caught out and die. But I mean, look, just ignore that for a second. They are genuinely playing a very tight knit game. I am actually impressed with. They are there. They are making plays when they need to make plays. They're kind of allowing plays that maybe shouldn't happen, but at the same time, these plays that are happening aren't actually creating that large of a issue for Eversio. You know, they still got the Drake even after they got caught mid game, in mid lane. They still managed to realistically stay ahead, even with the few deaths here and there which are being taken for the side of Bandits. Rift Herald, of course, is the next objective. I am curious if we will see just a large fight here, or if Eversio will just say, hey, take the Rift Herald, we're going to be farming. As Drakur dodges out on Metix's ult, this is a very close little fight. I don't know if you want to take that, Drakur. As Living will seem to try to catch these out. The Ornn does ult. That is a tree, man. And will this be a sleep? It is a sleep specifically on just the Wukong. The Wukong is dangerously low. So is the Rel. Igloss chasing. The Wukong will die to the burn. DDD, you are caught again. Will the flash be enough to save you? Igloss slams his head on the rock in front of him. DDD is getting corralled into the Herald pit.
Yeah,
He may
this
have dodged the
game's
bullets,
over, man.
but he cannot dodge Shelly.
I know the gold lead isn't that far apart, but man, if this is the best we have to offer, I think Eversio have got this in the bag.
No, I mean, this is when Bandits should be strong, and the fights are just not going their way. To be fair, to be entirely fair, Desir is putting up a very good fight. Not sure how I feel about the Liandry second when you already have an on-hit Varus who's helping you take care of tanks. I feel like you do need some damage to kill the squishies. But, I mean, at the end of the day, what's a Tornado Rush Ornn, huh?
Yeah.
Bro
So
is
yeah,
feeling prickly today.
yep. Igloss, the definition of not gonna die. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but Eversio have Igloss, Iconic, and Awaken. That's really a tongue twister in some team fights, thinking of all these names with the A. Alright, let's see it here. Top lane turret is falling. It's 300 gold into the Jace pockets. Not that it will make that big a difference in terms of what he can output here.
Obvious
We
at 2 items at 20 minutes. Yikes.
you see that Riftmaker being complete already there by Living. Currently ahead here on the Wukong. Currently the most ahead on the map, to be honest. And we
And
do see
DDD is caught out again. Scooby cannot help him this time. That
hello
will be
Iconic.
a kill.
Iconic now on the board as well with his first kill of the match. Yeah, I mean DDD
You know,
thinks that he's playing a Minesweeper at this point. He's being
You
the
just know Iconic was shouting at Iglos, leave me this one. I want this one. As Matix will try to jump on Iconic. Flash R! Iconic last frame manages to flash out of the ultimate and nothing will happen.
he's just clip farming, Mr. Iconic. He overextends just because he knows he can flash away. That's the kind of player, Lan. That's it. I'm joking. He seems to be going for the Infinity Edge second here. All components finished here. Last thing is to do is to get it off the checklist. That would be a lot of damage coming out of him.
He's of course playing against 5 squishies outside of the rel, so you might as well just build as much damage as you can on this gen. The faster this gen comes online, the more you can secure this game. Although, to be honest, with Matix here not having much, WEQ through the wall to extend it, but it just is not enough. All of Eversio is here. That is, of course, 3 ults just to kill the Azir. But then again, the Azir is the only thing that's realistically holding together Bandits. So why not just kill him and rush Atakan immediately after? As Iconic does need to be a bit scared here. He is, of course, a bit separated from the rest of his team, as they are, of course, rushing the Atakan. And yeah, I mean, realistically, what can you even do if you are Bandits here? The Drake will spawn in 15 seconds, so I would like Eversio to take this Atakan as soon as possible and just run for this Drake fight. Especially while the Azir is still respawning. Maybe they can try to get a very quick pick. I do wonder if they will just recall. They will, of course, instantly TP. Thank God we are going to see a fight. Let's see what happens. The Azir TP also does come out, and it does look like they're saying, hey, you do not get to start this Drake. We are all here. The Trump does land. Scooby is dangerously low. Here comes the Wukong. He is ulting. What is going on? As Azir is also very low. Drakor will manage to kill the... Wow, Iglos just escaped on 2 HP. I think the Q animation Wukong was winding up.
We had a bit of a
Man,
split fight there, living an Iconic, peeling the Azir off of them, and sort of taking him down low while Wukong was trying to open up for his team. Overall, Versa do manage to walk away with the jungler getting felled here from.
D.
Wow. I kind of stopped talking before the virus shot came out. Just like I wouldn't have believed it if you told me that Living would have lost a dragon, but it did happen sadly. Yeah, I was just trying to say that there was a bit of 2 fights that should have secured the 4th dragon. Luckily, it's not a Baron; it's just the soul. It's a big deal, of course, but you know, it doesn't stall the game out too much. Eversio is still winning effortlessly these fights overall.
It's very big for Bandit. It's not that big for Eversio. Realistically, this game going on for another 5 minutes is very much Eversio favorite. So we'll see what happens. Realistically, I mean, they are just so ahead that I doubt anything is gonna actually happen. So I am noticing Drakor going a bit of an interesting Ari build with the Blackfire and Cosmic, just rushing all that CDR. It is, I mean, I'm honestly, I have to think about that. There we go. I've been outcooked. As of course, the next objective on the map will most likely be that Baron spawning in a minute. Hopefully we can get some vision control here. Maybe even catch out Scooby, who was dangerously ahead without his team.
Let's see here. It does use that blast cone to safety, so he will get out of there scotch-free. Oh, it does seem like another ult here on DDD. He's the...
I think I've seen this one before.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, the Wukong gets Lily ulted. And that is... The fight still goes on. Zyglos finds the engage off the wall, Rel being the receiving end of that, but Iglos falling a bit too low for comfort there. He still survives it, so he knows his limits. And that is going to be that mid lane tier 2 secured for his team. All in the while Drakor was pushing this bot lane. And we are 15 seconds away here from the Baron's fun.
I don't want to say it's over, because it doesn't make it as exciting. But I mean...
Nice, 24 minutes, the Nano. Good job. Alright. Let's see it. I assume with this next Baron play, we should be arriving to the ends of this match. I think Eversio played it exceptionally well overall. Not too many struggles, but of course. learning from their mistakes. It seems like Bandits had a strategy going in to make a swap, and Eversio read them like a book. So a bit hard to recover after your main strategy gets seen. You see Wukong there securing the red buff from his ADC, ensuring he gets it, I guess. There we go. We see that this Jace is getting caught on side lane here as Living and Drakor are on his tail. His move speed is something out of this world, but it's not enough. Now, I'm not too sure about using Lily out there. In the meanwhile, Verso decide to start the fight on the other end. See Awaken trying to disengage, Iglos trying to go in. Do see Iconic trying to find a good position for the ult.
I
Iglos
think
yet
Yorn
again.
almost died there.
Yeah, Iglos yet
Man,
again escaping with 2 health. A lot of things going on here. Just keep in mind, Baron is available here after everyone is so low. And I would imagine Eversio want to pick that up. Sadly, we can't secure a kill here on the jungler as well. It does seem like Eversio will start this Baron pretty soon.
keep in mind, while this is all happening, the Drake is spawning in a minute. There's a bit of a big question here. Will Eversio be able to finish this Baron, which I imagine they should be, before Bandits can set up for Drake? Scooby is trying to maybe delay this Baron. Azir is forced to back off. And man, they have actually delayed this Baron for quite a bit. Drake spawning in half a minute. So Eyegloss will go in. He is tanking actually quite a bit of damage, but here comes Drakor. Farm only goes on the minion. Scooby is very low. Shmeon will also go down. That is 2 for 0 so far. Double kill on the Lilia. Here comes Yornalt. It will hit the Azir. Flash Q ultimate from the Lilia. Azir will have to Zonius, but this will be a 4 for 0. And I think this is a game. Baron not required.
It does definitely seem like it's the case. We have at minimum here 11 seconds for the Rel to spawn to maybe have this Wukong hold the fort.
Living
Let's
just
see.
in case it's like, let me just go get soul just in case we don't end. It looks like they won't actually try to end. They probably decide it's a bit too risky. They are relatively kind of low. Saying, hey, let's not throw this. We can just wait under 2 minutes to end. Let's take this soul. Then maybe we force a fight around Baron. Then we can just end after, hey? It is fair. It's nice to see a bit of patience. Nothing wrong with stalling out the game when your comp scales anyway. Especially when you're still securing an advantage through the soul.
So that is the Dragon Soul living, making sure it cannot get stolen. He goes and solos it when no one's around. We're now going to go to this Baron, where it will be the next big fight of this game. Should be heavily Eversio favorite here. We are around, what's that, 7k ahead on the right people as well. Igos starts the fight without his Lilia, and it seems like it's still working out for them. I don't know, a bit forced fight, but it's still working out. Everyone's relatively high health. And that's a shutdown on Drakor. A bit of a sloppy fight here. Alright, we do find the Varus pick up. Oh, Wukong just barely dodges that Iconic with a really great shot there, barely missing it. No, it does seem like Baron is up next. Igos on Awaken here, try to find a player on the Wukong. It does end Awaken here and potentially stop the Baron as well. A bit of a miscommunicative play here. I'm not too sure if you're happy with the current state of events, but it did just happen.
Of course, after this Baron, I do believe Jin will hit his third item, which should just mean that he's finally online. Of course, the game's already on it, but hey, Iconic, now's your time to shine. As we will see, Eyegloss egoing, stopping the Azir back, and then just walking back to farm top lane. Whippo walking back to top. Baron still has not been taken. They are playing around with this Baron. As they do, of course, see Jace bot lane. They will just start the Baron immediately. Jace, of course, not exactly having TP, does he? So, of course, the Baron will be started. I wonder if Bandits can actually stop this Baron, even if it's being done right in front of their face. I kind
It's
of
just a
doubt it.
huge chunk there by Drakur onto the red. Seems like Baron will fall here. It is in the last bit of health there. Lovely time smite there by Living.
Show us the Lord Doms. He's online.
That is 3 items for Iconic here. He'll be dishing out all the damage possible. Last fight here, I would imagine Eversio want to push out 2 lanes. Oh. Seems like they will push out 3 instead, but in general, potentially forcing a fight or diving here could be the ideal play. Just to end things, let's see if they take it nice and slow. Drakur has the push in bot lane, and Iglos has it in the top lane.
I mean, realistically, you do have the 2 TPs on the solo laners. You might as well just push out 3 lanes. Just kind of choke out the enemy Baron minions. You have, of course, separated the Azir in the top lane here, trying to just hold off the Ornn, as they will, of course, force out the bot tower as well.
Yeah,
I do
Ornn
not
has
think
TP as well, so we can also always teleport in. That tower falls like butter.
Immediately destroyed by Eversio, and we do see, of course, Iglos is pushing down that top tower as well. So while they're trying to defend their bot inhib, well, guess what? There goes their top in tower, and I think they've recognized it. I'm unsure.
Yeah, but I mean, you still kind of want more of your Eversio here. You're in a leading position with Baron. Definitely have the damage necessary here to sort of go on forward. See that Azir tower close to fall there. Awaken baiting the enemy team here. It does seem like he falls down a bit too quick there. Iglos is here though. A nice Azir ult stops the Ornn ult. A flash from Living. And that's a nice little cleanup there by Drakur. A lot of resets coming out. He will get the distance. Seems like DDD finds shelter in his base. Bit of a first this game. Alright, nice
Nope.
little play and
Nope.
clean up there. Eversio will be finishing this off. Great, so we are at 6-3. Oh, would you like to watch the last parts? Okay. Iglos gets a kill on the Jace. And there goes the Nexus. Ever win in the chat, guys.
Ever win.
And we're going to playoffs. Woo! That is 5-3 for the series. Now that's a
6-3.
lot better than. Sorry, is it? No, it's.
5-4 or 6-3, no?
Let me quickly check my notes. My apologies. My apologetics. You are correct. No. We are 6-3. You are indeed correct.
That is most damage on the Ornn with 28k damage. How damage you given the Lilia? Fear the goat.
Indeed. That is a thank for you in 2025. Alright, guys. For now, we do not know who our opponents will be or what times they will be, but as soon as the schedule is out, I'll try and update as soon as possible on the Discord. If you enjoyed the series, I hope you're in for some really exciting games coming up soon in the playoff series. Everton will face some of the teams that we lost against, I'm pretty sure, and that would be a great time to sort of get our revenge and learn and see what we learn. They're also best of threes and they're also fearless drafts. That's something to look forward to. So everyone will be forced to play champions they are perhaps not the most comfortable on. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed tonight's commentary between me and Nano. We might be welcoming Grantless back next time, but until then, I still hope you enjoyed Nano's appearance. And yeah, do you have any signing off words, Nano, perhaps?
The goat. That's it. I'm just going to say the goat, and that's going to be my signing off.
Yep.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for your kind words, Nano. Yes, Cardona Versio 1. You should go watch the replay now, okay? Yep. So thank you. It's been a pleasure to commentate for you guys. Maybe we can get a raid going, Mick. Let's see. Thank you for the support, Cardona. Hope to see you next time we have the playoffs. Sorry, are they called playoffs? I think they are called playoffs. To my knowledge, that's what they call them. So, yep. much more exciting games to come. And even, teams we've beaten, they would want their sort of revenge against us as well. All right. Are we getting a raid going? Do we have someone in mind, Vic? Or no raid today? Anyone knows the UKL stream maybe a bit soon? Can send them our lovely 20 viewers so they stop seeing a close-up of my nose. Jesus Christ. Is that what you guys see all day? Not working. All right, Malam. Guys, find yourself someone else to watch. All right. There's the UKL ongoing, or maybe any other league stream where you enjoy. Did we manage? We managed to raid. Fantastic. See you, and I'll be posting soon. Good night and GG Eversio.
GG.
Bye.